Hello everyone, my name is Supriya and today I am going to guide you about how to manage your day. So this is one of my first part on how to manage your day. I have divided into four sections. So one is for students going into college, second is for fresher levels, and lastly for the people who are in the path of their career. Now, coming to our first point, how to manage your day for a student. So this video is not only for student, but this video is also for parents. Basically, the intention or the student age about whom I'm going to talk will be from more than standard fifth till 10th standard or maybe 12th standard. Um, when we say practicing discipline practicing starts from your house, starts in your school days, and as we grow up, whatever knowledge, whatever skills, hobbies, shape our lives. So, coming back to our video, how to manage your day in part 1, students. I'll jump into the most important point. First, I would request you to take pen and a paper and note down the highlights of the day. Now, as a parent, you can sit along with your child and ask few questions to him, or as a student, you have to remember what you do in you don't have to go deeper, but just write in it. For example, you go to school, okay, after school you go to tuition, okay, you do some other curriculum activities, like you may play with your friends, right? And lastly, you leisure and rest. For example, you eat, sleep, okay. So these are, you don't have to go deeper, but this is like something, if you want to block your day, this is something that you do most of the time. Okay, we spend something around 6 to 7 hours in school, we spend 2 to 3 hours in tuitions, right? Then we come home and play for 2 hours, then we rest and sleep, we eat our food, you watch television, kind of these things. So this is a typical life of a student. Okay, now you will say, this is there is nothing new in this. Now, taking this as a plan, I will help you how to include your skills, your thoughts, or your hobbies into this whole plan. Seeing to it that you are developing yourself. You are becoming a creative person. You are practicing your hobbies. You are polishing your skills. Or in simple, you are getting a fruitful day. Many of the parents are working, or by the standard, when we are in fifth standard, we little bit get to know how our day is passing. We are able to make decisions about it. We know what subjects are taught in the school. We know what homework is given. So we are pretty much, we can say, independent. Okay, now firstly observe few steps. Now these are few steps, I will definitely say, when you are going to do these steps, you will have to revisit my video, or you'll have to revisit this one slide again. Remember your calendar, day, week, and month. Many times, as a student, we always rely on our parents to know which day it is, which week of the month it is, or rather which month it is. It may sound hilarious, but this is one of the things that we forget. Why we have to remember your calendar? Time is important. If you are learning this from childhood, you will get a good grip of it. You'll get to know when the holiday season is coming. You'll get to know when the exam time is going to come. You'll get to know how much time I am having to study for myself, specifically for those students who are into the ninth and 10th standards. All right, they have to do prelims, they have to do classes, they have their final examinations, they have their test series, all these things. So always try to revise which day it is, what is the date, what is a week, and try to correlate it with things. How many days is my exam away? How many days is my tournament away? Okay, how many days is competition away? You may also remember, how when is this movie going to release? It doesn't matter that you only have to remember academics. It's also outside academics, but try to keep a balance of it. Next, keep the checklist of item you want to do and did. Journalizing is a very good hobby. um, as a student, you may find it very boring because you in the school you're writing. You don't know how to write down your list of things. Definitely take help of your parents. Ask your parents how do they make the list. you know um, Or a simple take a pen and a paper, write a date on the right hand side corner, list down few things, go to the next page, write the date and corner, list down few things. Now what happens when you keep when you keep the checklist items? So as you are going to go into other standards, from fifth to sixth, then your syllabus is going to go very, very vast. Okay. Also, you will find that you will like many things. Some people may like history, some people may like literature, some people may like science. Okay. Now, when it is, after school, going to tuition and then other curriculum activities, in this, you forget to keep in mind what you like the most and practice it. Let's take an example. You had learned a very good experiment in your science. Okay. You came home, you write down in your checklist, and you go to your parents and you say, I like this experiment very much. Okay, I want to learn something more about it. You may go to your school library, ask your librarian, is there something that can add more to it? Okay, can you can go to your parents, can I see a YouTube video on this? Okay, can I see how, let's take a best example. For example, you are doing geometry and you like the scaling and the diagrams that were made. Now you want to see how it is used in your home. Okay, you could do some Google research. What will happen? This will help you to keep in touch with that subject. This will help you to know what interests you, and this will also help to you. Most important skill is researching. Okay, and this leads to discussion. Okay, the next point, that is it, discuss among your friends, parents, and anyone close to you. When you're discussing the syllabus, oh daddy, I learned this thing in college today, in school today, and I want to know more about you. What happens is that they add on to their knowledge. Your friends, they add on to something more to about it. You have a very fruitful discussion. Okay, and this helps in two things: one, in your communication; second, in your knowledge increasing. So never hesitate to discuss academics with your friends. It's not always you have to discuss playground, right? Sometimes try to understand their view. Next, check availability and resources around you. Now, among these 3 points and above, this point you may find it little bit off. Like, what is it? When I said you listed down few things over the period of time, list down the things that you like. Let's take an example. You are liking literature. You're discussing literature among your parents. Check the availability of library nearby you. Okay, you are liking geometry. Check the availability of whether there are any clubs around you that can help you to improvise your geometry, like there is this cubic classes and all those things. Lastly, based on above, decide your hobbies. Now, I have been talking hobbies, repeatedly, and again I am saying decide your hobbies. What happens is that when we say check availability and resources, you may be living in an area where there is no library. Of course, reading as a hobby will become a difficulty, right? um you may be living in an area where there is no cricket club. Okay, so now, um at this age when you want to love cricket, of course you have to go out of your, travel for a few hours and engage your parents into that help. So check it out. Is it option viable for you? Do not forget the monetary also. Okay, check it out how much monetary amount you require to practice this hobby, and how many of them you can practice it at home. Nowadays there is no restriction. Okay, you have YouTube, you have Zoom. So education is at your doorstep. You just have to type in and you'll get more, but do not become too mobile friendly, like every time going on checking on mobile phone. So this will restrict you. Now, this is only the few step you observe. Now, this exercise is 1 or 2 time exercise. Means today you decided to watch this video and you listed in few things, and you thought that okay, I like dancing very much, and I'm going and checking the nearby classes, and based on that, I'm deciding this is my hobby. I have kept a checklist of items of what I want to do. Let's take an example. Don't forget, okay, one more important. Do not forget that do not miss your academic in case of hobbies also. In academics also, try to have your hobbies. I like reading history lessons. I'm going to read more geography lessons. Okay, these kind of things. Next. So this was one of the way how you're going to retain your hobbies along with your days. This will make your day, what we say, more energetic, more fruitful. So you'll not feel like, oh, I'm only studying and I'm doing nothing else and there is nothing planned for me. Okay. Coming to our next point of the video is main point, how to plan your day. Now you could see everything on the screen. I'm coming to this first point. After school, review the day's lesson learned in the class. Most important thing that we forget to do as a student. Okay, this is your responsibility. As soon as you come home, you have your lunch, you take some break, take some rest. Go back to go back to each of your classes, and what did you do today? At least read the name of the chapter, the author, what you liked about that chapter. Note down in your book or highlight or just revise it. What will happen? This will keep you connected. Nextly, first attempt the homework. I will always request that after school, once you're done your tuition and everything, see to it that you are attempting your homework by yourself. Okay, but I'm pointing of the word here is attempt. I'm not saying complete. Many times we face issues while studying. Your madam has given you some questions and you are not able to solve it. Okay, this is going to be difficult for you. If you are trying to use help in doing your homework, see to it that you are not 100% relying on it. Let's take an example. You are using digest to get the answers. Instead of just jotting down the answers from the digest, read it first, understand, and then write it down in your book. So this will help you to get a very good grip on understanding this. Next, choose any subject from your list, at least one chapter. Okay, now here when I said that keep a checklist of items you want to do and do. So in this, I had mentioned that you have to keep the checklist of an items in the sense one something that you like. Okay, from that you have to choose one subject. Okay, one subject, one chapter, and read it out. Now start doing it with with one of the subject that you like, but don't forget to do it for all your subjects. So that is going to help you a lot. um, so many times you are when you're very close to your exam, you are not able to revise the whole syllabus. Okay, but this nooks, small chapters that you have revised in between will be there in your brain. Okay, this will help you to connect the dots. Let's say an example, you have directly jumped on to third chapter. The reason you have jumped on to third chapter because mentally first and second chapter is somewhat ingrained in you have the knowledge of it, and that is the reason you have jumped on to third chapter. Or you inside your brain you try to link the first and second chapter. This is very very helpful for students who are like in the ninth and 10th standard, 8th standard, because the syllabus is dependent. 8 ka syllabus is in 9th, 9 ka syllabus is in 10th. Next, do your hobby. Choose from the availability like I've mentioned, right? Do your hobby. What will happen? You have done all the academic here, right? Now you are coming to your hobby. It may be a dancing, it may be anything. So what will happen is, you are entering into an energetic environment. Here you may be little tired with academics. Here you are entering into an energetic environment. Okay, you are happy. You are creating a very good mindset in your mind. So everything is retained. Okay, and what happens is that if I were to know after 1 hour I have dancing class, I'm excited 1 hour before. As a student, as your as a parent, you may have seen in your children that I have to go dancing, I have to go dancing. So what happens is that that excitement, that energy helps them to complete everything of this in time. Okay, next, general knowledge, moral stories and news. As a student, never forget to have the knowledge about your country, what is happening beside you. Now bifurcate this. Sometimes go and read about general knowledge. Okay, sometimes read newspaper. Ask your parents, so which section I should read. Read the sports section, read the economic section. Or if you want to read the titles of the news. What will happen in that is like you will learn new words. Secondly, you will have something, you have read something that is out of your academic. So you'll get to know new vocabulary, you'll get to know how to say certain things. Okay, that is very helpful. And next is moral stories. Give some time in all the newspapers that you have in your home. There are certain short stories that you have. always try to read those moral stories, because those stories are inspiration to life. Don't forget to read it out loud. Reading is a very, very good habit. Okay. You may not be interested into reading whole books, whole novel, no problem, but do give time to this thing. Why it will help you to keep in loop. As a student, you will feel that, oh, do I need to? But yes, you sometimes need to escape from your academics, but stay close to your academics as well. Nextly, very important and very much liked item, television time or gaming time. I suggest to parents that have some half an hour or 1 hour of television time for your children. What happens is this: television is something that is very attractive, that is a trend. Students discuss among themselves what they watch, how they watch, and what happens is that they try to communicate or discuss it with the other kids. Okay. This keeps them alive in the classrooms. Okay. Coming to gamings, many of us may not have got the opportunity to enter, to play a lot of games. But gaming helps you to make your brain work faster. you know don't engage in so much of games that you become lazy, but it will help you to strategize things. So games are one of the part where helps you strategize things. So sometimes watch a TV, sometimes play game, that will help you a lot. Next is household chores and food. Very, very important thing. Try to help your parents in doing household courses, small small things. You can wash the utensils, or you can put the utensils away, or you can fold the clothes, or you can sweep the house. Do that. Do some of these physical activities. Learn to be self-reliant. Relating to food, learn to make small small things. Learn to fill your own plates. This will help you not only in your life at this stage, but it will help you for a longer time. So when I talked about household and food, lastly, before sleeping, um, this is one of the oldest method, or most suggested by teachers. Revise multiplication tables, 1 to 12 or 1 to 20 before sleeping, because numericals keep your brain active, and they improvise your abilities. And sleep with a very good thought. Learn to pray before sleeping, or learn to revise anything, shloks, or your prayers before sleeping. So this will, everything of this, as you learn eventually, as you are practicing, eventually you'll like doing it. Many of these things will help you to make a better communicator, make a better doer. You will know most of the things that other students are not knowing. Your child will grow up who has the ability to engage into people, engage into activities. He or she will become self-reliant, an independent person. So learn how to plan your day. This is not a hardcore rule that you have to make it in this way, but see to it that you are including all these things in your day. You may not practice it daily, but make an habit of practicing it regularly. So thank you very much. Subscribe and like my page, and I hope that you get most of the benefits from this video.